anyone comes up with it. Yes. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me there, Craig?
I can, guys. Oh my God.
Yes.
Sparkle. The meeting with the account, I didn't realize it, but he got up from the table and kicked my charger, and it's broken the top. So I've got no way to charge the laptop.
I've had some similar issues with my camera on my side, so I've had to switch over to the laptop. Move myself outside.
I didn't have time to set up I've got 3 laptops in here, and none of which have a charger for Dell. So let's go in, and I'll just get started ASAP so I can try and get through it all.
Well, yep. I'll just I'll start off, and we'll just get going. So I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Binance Australia Online Masterclass with TraderCobb. I'm James. A little bit about me. I live in an undisclosed location within Tasmania. I've been investing and trading in crypto since 2017, and I'm a member of the leading exchange in Australia, Binance Australia. So enough about me. Tonight's masterclass is going to be an exciting one. We hope everyone will have a good time with us tonight. Throughout the evening, feel free to use the comment function at the bottom of your screen. Type any questions in the chat box anytime throughout the class, and we'll run through all of them during the discussion session. Joining us tonight, we have Jeff, CEO of Binance Australia, and Craig Cobb, also known as TraderCobb, our guest speaker for this evening's masterclass. Jeff, are you able to hear us there?
Hey, yes. Hello, everyone.
Cool. Awesome.
I think I see reports that the YouTube live stream is not working yet. Is that an issue that you guys are having as well?
Let me just double check. I've got live on my Zoom here. Yeah, it says live on YouTube.
I think it's seems like people say it's all good now. All right.
All good now? Yep. All right, cool. So before we start, let's run through a few housekeeping rules. We have a few Binance Angels here with us tonight. You would have already seen a couple of them. So we've got Damien, Pei, Annie, Jason, and Ryan. If anyone has any technical issues or questions throughout the evening, they'll be your go-tos. Maybe we should have gone to them, guys. Anyway, throughout the evening, please feel free to use the comment function at the bottom of your screen. And finally, don't forget to stick around for the announcement of our giveaway winner. We'll be giving away 1x lifetime access pass to TraderCobb's Become a Master course worth $899 for those who filled the pre-survey. If you have done so, check out how to enter now, and I'll drop that one in the chat box just below. 1 second. Where are we? So that one's just on Zoom. If one of the angels could pop that into YouTube, that'd be awesome. So again, let me introduce our guest speaker for tonight, Craig Cobb. For those of you who don't know Craig Cobb, he is the co-founder of TraderCobb, who provide crypto trading courses with one of the strongest communities of crypto enthusiasts in Australia. He's globally recognized educator and speaker in business, trading, and cryptocurrency, and hosts one of the top international ranking podcasts, the TraderCobb Crypto Podcast. Today, he'll be guiding us through a checklist that covers risk assessment concepts and tools that you need to become a confident trader in any kind of market. Thank you for joining us tonight, Craig. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. If you could just let me share the old screen, I'll pop the slides up and get stuck in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this event, and thank you to Binance Australia for putting it on. Essentially, couple of things. First things first, as you probably heard before, I've got a lack of charge on my laptop. Someone kicked my charger and ripped it out. So I'll be going through this and doing my best to make sure I cover anything without rushing. If anything does cut out, I'm not snobbing you. It's just one of those things that tends to happen when you're doing something live. Okay, so look, let me get started straight away. First up, yes, I am Craig Cobb of TraderCobb. And look, I'll take you through where I'm from, what I've done, but a risk disclaimer, this is not trading advice. This is an educational event. And if you don't agree with that, please do move on. So look, I've been trading since, I started buying shares at 16 and started trading when I was about 21 in London and lost a lot of money very, very quickly. I had a fund at 24. I've traded FX, bonds, commodities, everything that moved essentially. From that traditional market background, came into cryptocurrency in 2017 in July, and I've had a bloody great time. It's been a fantastic ride. It's been a lot of hard work with the business TraderCobb, but I'm loving it. And what I do is the way that I trade is really through what I've been taught. Now, I haven't invented anything. I've been taught by people that have taught me. So there you go. It's really, this is not some special magic sauce that I've put together. This is all about, reproducing. I've slimmed what they taught me down to a certain extent to make it much more straightforward and simple. But I use checklists. I've got 3 trading strategies, and they work on any time frame. So by having those checklists, it allows me to be objective, because subjectivity is a really bad thing. If you start, questioning yourself, or if you read a tweet by somebody that Bitcoin's going to do that, or this is going to do that, it gives you what we call analysis paralysis. And you've got to just back yourself. But before you can back yourself, you need to know what you're doing. And that's what this is about. This is my 16th year as a trader. I definitely feel old in saying that, for sure. And where we're going to start off in this event is really building those foundations. Okay. From my point of view, most people jump into the market and just want to trade because it's fun, it's sexy, it's the adrenaline, all that sort of stuff. But if you don't set the business up correctly, like any other business, you're setting yourself up for failure. And the first part that you got to look at really is, what type of trader are you? Are you a swing trader, or are you a day trader? Now, for me, I do both. Okay. Swing trading is when you're looking at sort of the, I say 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 and above, up to the daily. And this suits a lot of people because they can take time to make their decisions. They can look at their checklist, take their time. You know when the candles close, and if you're there 25 minutes before, you can do your scans of your watch lists and then wait for those trades to present themselves. Intraday trading is about short bursts of intense concentration. Now, you might be somebody who can't focus for long, but can focus sharp for a short period. If that's the case, intraday trading might be for you. If you're the opposite, swing trading is also there. Now, many people will start in one and move across to the other and find their sweet spot. And there is absolutely nothing at all that is wrong with that. Allow yourself to be open and free to change around. I do both. It just depends on the condition of the market, really. So there you go. There's my little introduction. I was introduced in 2013 to Bitcoin. I kicked to the curb because I was like, there's no liquidity. And as a trader who trades off of charts, it just wasn't feasible for me to do that. I have dedicated the last 3.5 years, 3 years into the TraderCobb.com business. And for me, look, I couldn't be in a better place at a better time. So I'm super stoked. So going back into the asking yourself the question, because look, if you ask yourself the wrong question, you'll get the right answer to the wrong question. All right. So when I talk about what type of trader am I, and I talk about intraday and whatnot, you've got to first of all learn to trade. Okay. People say, oh, intraday traders make more, or swing traders make more. No, good traders make money, and they adapt to what suits their lifestyle. Because think about it, when you were 5 years old and the teacher said at school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I guarantee that 100% of you did not say looking at 4 screens every day in front of a computer. It's not inherently what we love, being in front of a computer, okay, unless you're gaming or something like that. But it is definitely an outlet to achieve your goals, to create that capital, to provide that freedom. And that's what trading is to me. It allows me, and people say, oh, how do you take time off? It's a 24/7 market. You just make time. You go away. You do things, because for me, it's a place to capitalize. It is not a dedicated life resource. Dedicated life mission. It's a place where I can go in, make my money, and come out. So it doesn't matter where you start. Okay. If you're a full-time trader, fine. You best be very good at what you're doing, or have some passive incomes or whatever. If you're a part-time trader, just make sure you use your time wisely. All right. So the difference between the two, when I say two, is technical analysis versus trading strategy. So most of you that are on this particular event will be aware with technical analysis. You got your triangles, your double bottoms, your double tops, all those bits and pieces. But a lot of people, I certainly do know that they'll consider technical analysis to be trading strategy, and it's just not. Okay. Think of it this way. Technical analysis is like sugar in a chocolate cake recipe. It is but one element. It is one singular element. It is not the recipe. Now, I use technical analysis to create me a trading strategy, but it's the same as a recipe. You've got to have certain things at certain times in a certain order to create the result that you are desiring to achieve. And I think that's a big part that many people miss, is that yes, technical analysis is fantastic if you have a strategy and you use it as a strategy. And for those that think, oh, okay, I'll learn technical analysis, I'll create my own strategy. Here's something for you. You go into a professional kitchen, there's 5,000 ingredients in that kitchen, hot and cold, spices, salts, the whole kit and caboodle. The chef says, look, I need 10 souffles and I need them in an hour. Now, you've never tasted a souffle. You've never seen a souffle. You've never seen a recipe for souffle. But you've got 5,000 ingredients. You've got 1 hour to make 10 perfect. What's the chances of you getting that done? Very, very little. But here we are, many people, when it comes to trading, going into that same pantry of all these technical ingredients that are available to us and trying to put it together themselves. Now, when I give it an analogy like that, it seems ridiculous to think you could achieve that. And it kind of is. And I spent a lot of years and a lot of money wasting my money and time thinking I could do it myself. It's about becoming the chef, and that takes time. It takes education and it takes work. You will not see what I do, and you can, TraderCobb.com, absolutely free course there. Go and check out in more detail. I got a relatively small time tonight, but there's a whole bunch more detail there. You can see what I mean. And it's really important to understand that you can pick it up quickly, but first you need a leg up. Every business has a strategy. Your trading is a business. Don't dabble, focus, and do it correctly. Focus on trading strategy and risk management, trading momentum and trends. You have a hell of a lot better chance of success. Now, a couple of things that I don't use. I don't use overbought RSI or oversold RSI, moving average crosses, dead cross, double top stop. I don't use any of that. And I certainly don't use sloping trend lines. And I'll tell you why. They're subjective. Most of my trades, you'll find if you watch anything that I do or have been involved with what I do, you'll see that quite often, if you had the RSI on, it would be overbought. It would be oversold when I'm taking my trades because I'm trading momentum. I'm not trying to pick a bottom or a top. I'm after that chunk in the middle because the higher probability comes from that area. Sloping trend lines are subjective and I have no time for it. I spent 6 months hanging on to those when I found a great mentor. He told me I will fire you in a second if you bring another chart with a sloping trend line, because I had an ego. I thought, hey, I know what to do with these things, but they are subjective. Get your trading to be focusing on factual information, objectivity only. You're going to make mistakes. That's fine. But have a checklist to work your mistakes against to see how you can develop and move forward. You take your trading from subjective to objective, and you'll start to see a big difference. I promise you on that. Look, at the end of the day, there's two things you can do in a market. All right. You can buy or you can sell. All the indicators in the world, they're all just, flashing lights that try and distract you. You've got to have questions that lead back to, are you a buyer or are you a seller? So therefore, let's look at the elements that we have on a chart. You got a candlestick. Who won the candlestick? Buyer or the seller? Trend. Who's in control of that trend? Are the buyers in control, i.e., do we have an uptrend? Or are the sellers in control? Do we have a downtrend? I use one indicator, it's the MACD. I take away the signal line. I take away the histogram. I keep it very simple. Why? Because I don't need anything else. Now, a MACD or any indicator will never tell me when to take a trade or when to get out of a trade. What it will do, however, is it will tell me when to stay away. The reason for this objectivity is because this is around a trading strategy, a confluence of events. You need to have an exact entry, an exact stop loss, and target or targets. You can let it run and go, but first you must minimize your risk. Everything's down to a very much of a sort of a pinpoint a very structured approach. I know there's going to be a bunch of people here that are thinking, hang on, idiot, I use sloping trend lines and they work for me. And that's fine. But you can't argue with how subjective they are. I use them. And I remember what I'd have is if it was trading off of a pullback to a sloping trend line, what would occur is that you might get close and you'd move the trend line a little bit to get what you want. The market doesn't care about you. Okay. It really doesn't. You move things to get your objectives met. You'll find that you won't, your objectives will not be your goals that you set yourself. There's no precise, it's just, are you in a downtrend? Are you in an uptrend? I see these lines drawn all over the place. And for me, I just I don't necessarily lose respect for somebody, but I just think, oh my goodness, if you could just focus on what is, not what this or that, or, with the horizontal level, it's 180 degrees. There's not 181, not 270. With sloping trend lines, there's only 0 or 180 that is not sloping. There's so much room to move and create an outcome that you desire. That's why I don't use them. Now I use 3 strategies: the crypto cradle, the Bitcoin breakout, and the Fibonacci booster. I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and I need to touch on this. Like I said, TraderCobb.com for the free course to get all the ingredients together and move forward with a lot more. I've got a limited time, so I'm giving as much as I possibly can here. When we look at a breakout level, and most people will know what that is, I'm looking for 3 tests of resistance. The major thing I'm looking for, though, is if I just get my drawing tool out here, I'm looking for pent up energy. There's a higher low, a new higher low. I want to touch, a pull back, and then back in. The reason I want to see these higher lows coming in is it's like my Nan's kettle. She's not alive anymore. God bless you, Nan. It's that pressure building up. And you know when you got these kettles with a little whistle on it and it gets hotter and hotter, and it's like, and then you're like, oh my God, how annoying is this thing? Everyone runs to it. It's that pressure buildup. But at a certain point when it breaks through, just like the steam in my Nan's kettle, it blasts through. Now, a breakout level doesn't necessarily need to be a trading level unless it fits the rules that I put in place for that. But I can always wait for a cradle trade to pull back into that level, or a Fibonacci booster. Flat levels are extraordinarily valuable to traders, horizontal levels, that is. It doesn't necessarily mean there's always a breakout. So we want to see that build up of pressure, higher lows in an uptrend building into that breakout, lower highs in a downtrend building into that breakout. A flat level by itself, I put in MACD, I put in for convergence, I look at multiple time frames. There's a lot that goes into a breakout trade for me. Now, the crypto cradle strategy, you might want to take a screenshot of this while you're at it, guys. I'll just put all the little dot points up there. This is the strategy that you probably get more trades on this than anything else, to be fair. I only ever trade in the direction of the trend. So I've got to have trend and I've got to have multiple time frame. So let's say I'm taking the trade on the 4 hour, the 8 hour needs to be in an uptrend with the moving averages in the correct order. And also doesn't hurt to have the daily in an uptrend as well. The price has got to pull back into the cradle zone, for which I'll show you in just one moment. And we prefer to have a small bearish candle in a downtrend or a small bullish candle in an uptrend. The stops have got to be supported by trend, or possibly even a support and resistance level, or a round number, say 30,000 or $10, 150, that sort of thing. And everything I do and teach is all around managing the risk of your trading account. Here you have, okay, right here in front of you, what you've got is this. Let me just bring this little thing. See this little purple line and this little white line? That purple line is the 10-period exponential moving average, EMA. The white line, sorry, the purple line, the purple is a 20 EMA and the white is the 10 EMA. All right. Now, what we go through here in our checklist, it's very simple stuff. Is there a trend? Here's our low. Here's a lower high. Here's a lower low. Lower high and the lower low. Yes, that equates to a downtrend. First thing ticked. The downtrend, sorry, is there a trend? Yes. The direction of the trend is down. Is price in the cradle? Well, the cradle zone's in and around this 10 and 20 period moving average, which you can see we're sitting in there beautifully well right now. So yeah, we can tick that box. Is there a small bearish candle? Bearish being defined there by that little red candle there. It's a seller candle. Is the stop in a logical place? The stop would go here, and the reason it's logical is if you were to be put in here with your entry there, if it was to do that, you'd have a higher low and then a higher high. As it makes the higher high, we don't want to be in that anymore. So a trend reversal, yeah, well, the stop's in the right place because that is logical. I don't want to be short in an uptrend. Here's the outcome of that trade. You can see that's the stop loss, that's the entry, and that's the move. Now, I'm not here to sort of show off and show you a bunch of profitable trades, because I'll tell you right now, I've had 3 losing trades in a row. I really have. It's not very often I get 3, but I have. You're not always going to have winning trades, but provided you always manage your risk, you'll also never have too much pain. All right. And there's things around correlated risk, how much risk you have exposed of your portfolio, lots of little bits and pieces like that. I mean, trading is risk management at the end of the day. Couple more examples here. This was a little while back. AEST Bitcoin. Look how it's pulled back into that cradle zone. You can see your entry and your stop. And if you do the course, you'll see that this is a checklist-based system here that you can use with your trade calculator and with your actual recording of your trades. But also you can print out your checklist. All right. That trade there, you can see a huge reward. If you're risking $1,000 on that, you're looking at 12,500 reward. That was the trade back there. I'm going to run out of battery in a minute, guys, but that's okay. We're nearly there. So members outcome. So not just take my word for it, but look here. These are members within my Slack community that are taking trades and doing well. Now, if this does happen to drop out of me, I apologize profusely. The charger, it's out of my control. I will say go to TraderCobb.com. It is a free course. You'll get this presentation, but a lot more in there as well. All right. Absolutely free. Go get it. Number 2, another one on AEST Bitcoin. You can see here, that was the second opportunity. Again, a very, very large profit just by managing your risk, following a checklist and using that cradle zone. As a matter of fact, open up any chart you like that's trending, put in your 10 and 20 period moving average, all right? And see if it happens. See if it pulls back into there. That's the litmus test. Don't take it from me. Go and test this yourself. I'm not asking you to just believe everything I say on a whim. Not at all. Go and see this for yourself. Go and understand what I'm talking about. Go and do that free course and learn the ingredients. It's not difficult to make money consistently in the markets. There's 2 things you need: good trading strategy, but you also need to have a good mindset. You've got to be comfortable with what you're doing and who you are. The beauty of these strategies is they work in an uptrend or a downtrend. There's my entry, 8584, stop 8308. Trade risk is 276. The outcome on this was 5.35 to 1. I'm talking about 500 risk here. Again, an example of a simple strategy with simple checklists that works very, very well. Here is a breakout trade. Now, Bitcoin Cash used to be an absolute dynamo when it came to hedging your portfolio, because it used to move sort of 3 to 1 to Bitcoin. It's since sort of decoupled a little bit more there, but it was fantastic. I used to love trading Bitcoin Cash because back, it used to just be fantastic. You're 3 to 1 on your Bitcoin, but you can see a breakout trade right there. This trade at $500, 17 to 1, 9 grand profit just by trailing your stop on these lower highs all the way through. Logical stuff, nothing complicated, because I can't trade complicated. For me, it doesn't work. Now, granted, these are 4 good trades. We're looking at a maximum of $1,000 per risk. We minimize our risk at 50% or 1 to 1. So, if you risk $1,000, it hits, if you've got a $50 stop and it moves $50 in your favor, you close half the position. Now you're at break even, because if it falls back down and you lose your 500, well, you've banked 500. Minimize your risk first. Get your head in the right place. You're going to have winners and you're going to have losers. But just to signify the power of this market, not so much the strategies, Strategies only give you an opportunity to enter. The market itself, cryptocurrency, is the fastest moving, most volatile market in the world with liquidity. 4 trades, it's $40,000. Now, while you look at this and you say, sure, I know you're not going to be able to get these 4 trades all the time. I totally agree. Totally agree. But you've got like 40 trades there that you'd have to lose on. It's a game of probability. And giving yourself a higher probability by using checklist-based trading systems is going to help you to be clear and make decisions, be decisive on your own. Now, when it comes to trading, I'm a big advocate, of flawless execution. Flawless execution of what you're doing. So you need a strategy that makes sense to you that you can stick to. You've got to have written rules so it's not subjective. You don't have to think, you just do. When you take a trade, you take your screenshot so you can review, revise, and get better. At the end of the day, week or month, you go back through and you match it against the checklist and you decide, what did I miss there? Did I make a mistake? And why did I make that mistake in that moment in time? Because we can always justify it to ourselves, right? Seek out mentors, learn around people that you can grow with, or they've been there before you. That's what our community is all about. And as I said, guys, the next step is to go get that full free course, about 4 hours of content there at TraderCobb.com, totally free. There's a typo in that. It's trader, TraderCobb.com. And you can go get that absolutely free. So I know it's a fairly short presentation, but it is a fairly short period of time that I have available to me with you guys. Now, one thing I want to tell you as well is that I'm not sure that many Aussies know that you can actually use Binance to onboard. You can deposit straight in to your Binance account with Binance Australia. So rather than having to go through other platforms and pull your money into or send your Bitcoin across to different platforms, it's pretty simple. Click on that deposit AUD button. Go down here. You got your options here. It is the most simple process that's available. It saves you on fees too, because you don't have to go from one platform to another and get gouged. So simply put in the amount you wish. Obviously, you've got to do your KYC and complete all of those bits and pieces. But once that's done, away you go. Straight into the account, tiny little fees, and you, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely away. If you're using the app, and look, I don't advocate as a trader, I don't really advocate trading on an app as in raising orders because it's a little bit too fiddly.
Okay, I think it's gone.
We lost him.
Yeah, but that was a good session, a bit of short one. So James, what do you think about what Craig was talking about?
Yeah, one thing that hit me the most was when he had like how he used to do charts and it's all these like different lines and supports and stuff, and you think you know what you're doing and you're like, I'm a pro trader now and stuff like that. So that one sort of struck a chord. Things are a little bit different these days, but the way that he explained it was much more simple, sort of breaking down the fundamentals of trading and going really back to the core and basics and not falling for all of that, misinformation that you get when you jump down that rabbit hole when it comes to starting to trade. I think it's a good platform to, keep things simple, and it's a good place to get a basic understanding of the structure of trading rather than, getting stuff from here, here, and here, and here, and being like, what does all this mean?
Yeah. I think my main takeaway is that like trading is not just not about just like, hey, I'm gonna make money, right? It's about a lot about discipline. It's a lot about planning. It's if you take trading seriously, I think that will work out pretty well. And obviously, like Craig said, right, it's okay to make mistakes as long as we sort of document it and learn from it. I think you obviously, like anything, practice makes perfect. And I think one thing in the last part he was mentioning
from Google Chrome. Watch Biden remarks on COVID-19 response.
What's that?
Sorry, it was just sound coming out of the laptop. You can continue.
Okay, so like he was saying that, like, obviously fees are a big part of choosing a right trading platform. Like, obviously, like Binance provides one of the lowest fees in the industry, and AUD deposits through Binance Australia is entirely free. not just deposits, but also withdrawals. And, I think a lot of people have, probably know that we have, but, based on the numbers, I would say that like we definitely see a growing numbers of Aussie users are using the pay at the deposit functions. But I think there's still room for a lot of people to realize that you can actually use everything on Binance itself, right? Like, so it's one platform is easier, not just in terms of how you manage your capital, but also the speed of a trade, because, timing is a big factor in, making sure that you don't lose out to a good trade, or, basically, you want the speed to the market, faster than any other people would. So yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't checked out how to deposit AED into your Binance account, just check out. I think you can just repeat the sort of rollback to see what the slides here are about, or hop onto our official Telegram group. I think if any angels can post the Telegram link in the Zoom or YouTube live stream chat, and then there will be a pin message of all the guides that you would have, from KYC to deposit to withdraw. And then there's guides for like app as well. There's guides for desktop as well. So it's really, and obviously, like in Telegram, feel free to chat anything about, crypto, or anything about Binance, or anything in general that's happening. And folks that would sort of reply, and sort of we can chat over there. And also, if you have any suggestions or issues, you can always reach out to me or the Binance Australia team right there as well. So yeah, that's all from me. What about you, James?
Yeah, so look, just to add on to like the Binance Australia features and everything, I mean, I sort of want to note one thing, that in the past, when I was first getting involved in crypto, you'd have to buy Bitcoin from here and do all of this sort of like extra loopholes to get it across to Binance to be able to, do what you want to do on the platform. And then you'd, pull it off, and, you'd withdraw your cash and all of this sort of stuff. I think one of the messages I want to get across is that you don't need to do that anymore. You can just all do it in the one place. It's instant to withdraw, deposit AUD. We've got some of like the lowest AUD trading fees. Jump in our Telegram. We're always in there, happy to support people. Best spreads, fairest prices. Like I keep trying to punch this through to people, because when it comes to investing in crypto and everything like that, it's just avoid getting ripped off, right? That's what we're offering, is a platform to not get ripped off. Yeah, I just wanted to add that bit in there as a little bit of my sort of take as a retail consumer on Binance, just as much as I work for you guys and everything. So yeah, look, I'll sort of move things forward then. So I don't know if Craig's with us, but if he can hear us, at least, maybe he's on his phone, but I'd like to thank him for tonight. It was a very informative session. And thanks everyone for joining this evening. So now I'm going to try and move on to a bit of a discussion. So I can see a lot of trading kind of questions entering the chat and everything. And without Craig here, who's the professional trader, it's kind of hard for us to answer that. So I'm just trying to sort of whittle it down into maybe some Jeff or Binance questions and stuff like this. Look, maybe jump into the to the Telegram, and there's other traders in there, and they might be able to have discussions with you and everything like this. We'll be able to assist with that as well, as best as we can. There's a huge team there. Some of us are traders, some of us are holders, sort of stuff like this. So nice growing community in that Telegram. Jump in. We can all get stack those sats together. So yeah, let me just have a look if we've got any questions here. Just be a second. Jeff, do you want to? I can see some SMSF sort of generalized questions and tax sort of stuff. Do you want to sort of maybe do just a quick minute on that? End of Q1.
Yeah, sure.
Some of the stuff that might be in the pipeline and stuff like this.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't know that Binance Australia is a Australian exchange, right? Like any other. So we are based in Australia. We are regulated by the same organization. We are registered with AUSTRAC like any other exchanges do. So being an AUSTRAC registered cryptocurrency exchange provider, right? We're able to not just support the regular moms and pop traders, but we are also able to onboard companies to institutions and also SMSFs. So we do have a good amount of SMSF users on our platform, and we're seeing an increased number of signups in that front. My sort of guess, I'm pretty bad at guessing, but my sort of guess would be like, with MicroStrategy in the US and a bunch of like endowment funds, like, announcing that they've been acquiring Bitcoin, and like, recently BlackRock, one of the world's largest, funds, has approved like, 2 Bitcoin, two of their funds invest in, Bitcoin. I think it was futures, something like that. So it's definitely the institution interest in crypto assets is definitely increasing. And I only think in 2021, we will definitely see more adoption, in this field, and particularly in Australia as well, because like, we have one of the most progressive regulation, right? Like Bitcoin is declared legal by the RBA, like in 2013. That's almost like a decade ago, right? So, the good banking support we have, like, with all this instant pay ID stuff, it's basically, no reason why, traditional investors more so would sort of consider Bitcoin as part of the regular sort of asset that they put in their portfolios. So yeah, so SMSF is definitely something that we want to really sort of let you guys know that we welcome SMSF. We are a registered exchange, so we are a registered SMSF provider in Australia. So don't worry. If you guys have any issues with looking for the onboarding guides, hop on Telegram. We'll shoot it to you. Also, if you have any sort of onboarding questions, or you're facing issues with that, always chat us up. Like, we're always here. Like, we have a lot of one-on-one help. We've done a lot of our team basically just do a lot of hand holding, because SMSF into crypto might be new to a lot of people, and it might be quite scary if you just try to set it up. So we also work with like New Brighton Capital, for example. We have a good relationship with them that basically work with them to help their clients to onboard onto exchanges like Binance Australia. So we do a fair bit on that front, and just I think it's good that we're all here, and just let you guys know that basically we support everyone. Binance Australia is for everyone. It's not just for sort of experienced traders or people looking for all this good liquidity and stuff, but it's actually an exchange for everyone.
No, great, awesome. I'm excited for the future when it comes to the corporates in Australia getting involved with Binance Australia, and crypto as a whole. I think we're really going to see a huge amount of volume come into the market, and early adopters are going to be very happy with that. And those corporates will be long-term holders, and they'll also be happy with that. So I'm just having a look here through some questions. I go on here, Jeff, again, if you'd like to maybe touch on this. Private coins. Why do you need to sell private coins before you deposit AUD? So, with the new regulations that come in, or the pressure that was being put on to all exchanges, would you like to go into that at all?
Yes. So it's definitely a very painful decision for us to make back in, I think it was August last year. Like, all exchanges started off sort of like fencing of privacy coins. It is an Australia-wide problem. It's not really just something that happened with us. So being a regulated exchange, there are definitely those standards that you have to adhere to. And one of those things is that making sure we keep up to date with regulators, and not say that we didn't really work with them to sort of push certain stuff. Right, we do a lot of work with regulators. Like, we work very closely with AUSTRAC. We work very closely with a lot of sort of A-letter sort of agencies in Australia, and also we work with non-government sort of bodies to push forward, blockchain and crypto. Like Blockchain Australia, we're a member of FinTech Australia as well. So with the helps, and also with the open conversation with a lot of industry partners, we get a lot of things done. But at the same time, there are also stuff that are just a bit dreadful, that every change has to kind of like comply with it might be debatable if it's in the interest of whether it's security, safety, and whatnot, but laws and regulations or this kind of restrictions that place on all exchanges, all banks and stuff, right, are something that everyone has to adhere to, right? But we do maintain very open conversations with some of these partners as well, to make sure that this thing continues to sort of evolve, Whether this one would continue to remain like this, it's still up for question. Because if you look at other exchanges, they have basically the same issue. We do talk to as CEOs of exchanges, we do talk to each other sometimes, and we sort of figure out like what's the best way we can push this forward for our users. Especially like in Binance, what we really want to push is really the freedom of money, right? So that's why I think we are only Australian exchange that didn't delist it, but we just put a very restrictions on our sort of voluntary restriction if you choose to use the AED features. So it's something definitely a bit more. It's a regulation is a double-sided sword, right? So in one hand, you actually get to have more clarity, and more businesses, more banks, more institutions would get involved. Maybe buy up all the Bitcoin and then shoot your price up to the moon, like that kind of stuff. But if you want, I think in my point of view, I think if you want sort of the serious money to come into crypto, right, there are definitely stuff that you have to give up with. Some of the unfortunately, privacy coins just fall under that category that no banks or no big sort of business or government agencies really want to sort of touch and be associated with at this point of time. So yeah, that's it.
Excellent. So I can see another one here that I can just really quickly answer. Does Binance offer OSCO Pay ID for withdrawals? I know I use Pay ID OSCO to make deposits. Yes, we do. We do offer instant withdrawals and deposits on Binance Australia. And here's one that I'd love for you to clear up to everyone watching. When we trade crypto through Binance Australia, are our trades executed in the global Binance market? I mean, where the USA traders are executing their trades. Jeff, if you'd like to just nail that one for us.
Yeah. So I think it's the same way you trade in a lot of exchanges in Australia, where they actually plug into global liquidity, right? So in most cases, what they mean by global liquidity, it's one way or the other. Binance could be one of those. So Binance Australia plugs directly to the global Binance liquidity, so you actually get the best spreads and best sort of order book sort of depth. So you don't lose out on a small sort of isolated market. That's why if you look at our BTC price, for example, like we have the highest volume of all Australian exchanges. Just go to like Crypto Compare or some of these websites, look it up daily. So it's a testament that if you have the best liquidity, you have the best fees, you have the best AUD deposit and withdrawal channels, I think people will come, right? And we definitely see a huge amount of growth since like previous quarter. Like we rose from like nothing to number one in trading volume in I think just 6 months. And really big thank you to all you Aussies for supporting us throughout the way.
Awesome, cool, good to know. So I think we'll move on from that one now. So again, thanks to Craig and Jeff, thank you for answering some of those questions just now. And thanks to Craig earlier for his presentation. So now we'll move on to the winner for tonight for the TraderCobb's Become a Master course. So congratulations to Brett Armfield. Please contact Hannah on the Binance Australia Telegram group to claim your prize. I'll get one of the angels if you could pop one of the Telegram link into the chat. So people can get into that, and Brett Armfield can collect his prize. So look, thank you all for joining us. We had some technical issues at the start. Thanks for bearing with us through them. We've reached the end of the masterclass now. So thanks again to Craig for an informative session. Thank you to the Binanceans, and thank you to the Angels for joining us here tonight. Anything else you'd like to add, Jeff, before we head off?
I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions for me, like maybe we'll just open up the floor for another minute, or let me scroll back, see if we have missed anyone. So let me see. So I see that Nathan actually asked a question in Telegram, like pretty early on. It's like, is it best to convert AED to USDT or BNB to trade with? So I assume that like Nathan wants to trade, let's say, altcoins, but it doesn't have a direct AED pairs. So it might need to convert into USDT or BNB. So I would say it's really up to you, right? Because most altcoin have a USDT or BNB pair to go with it, and I do see like people prefer to use one or the other, but ultimately it's kind of just your preference. Both sides of liquidity are pretty strong, and not just USDT, but we also have AUD BUSD pair. So you have actually two US dollar stable coins to choose from, not just USDT. And on top of that, we have like AED, Bitcoin, AED, Ethereum. Those are very liquid pairs as well, and most altcoin would have a pairing to either BTC or ETH to trade with. So yeah, I do see this question pop up once in a while, and I think that comes with like, are we going to list more direct AED pairing? The short answer is yes. We'll be doing more of those, so keep an eye out on that. Yeah, but in the meantime, obviously there's so many coins to trade with. I think right now what I see people do a lot is really to convert into a USDT pair, because you want to trade the altcoin with the best liquidity option, and that's currently the best way to go.
Yep, sweet, no worries. I can see another one here that the Angels have just put up in front of me. What sort of security do we have that our money in Binance is safe? So there's the Binance Seifu Fund. Do you want to, again, Jeff, you would have all of those details in your mind there to just push out?
Yeah. So I think first of all, like I'm not a security expert in this, but I do see from the front line on how much importance does Binance treat users' funds securely, right? Seifu Fund is one of them. If you want to read up more, I think Academy has a bunch of articles that shows how Binance makes a commitment to secure your funds. So it's definitely something to check out. But Binance Academy, I think just search up like safe or funds or something like that using the search tool in it, and you'll find an article you're looking for.
Awesome. All right. Just having a scroll through, so just bear with me. Okay, so maybe back onto the corporate stuff. How easy is it to set up a company account on Binance Australia?
So currently, it takes about, I would say, 2 to 3 business days to get a process going. But with the recent surge that we are seeing, right, we're overloaded with applications. That process might take up to a week, unfortunately, if the documents aren't complete. So there's a bit of back and forth to go with. But we do, if you get stuck, if you're unsure what to do, or what kind of documents or stuff like this, just reach out to me on Telegram. I'll just guide you through it. Like we help out a bunch of those guys like that, and it's been going pretty well. And we'll be revamping the application process for, let's say, SMSF in the next maybe short, say 1 or 2 months, to make it even smoother. Because currently there are definitely a lot of feedback in that regard, and like everything we do, we take your feedback really seriously, and we do are committed to make some of those changes really happen according to all your good suggestions and feedback. So don't be shy on giving us feedback. We really adore them.
Okay, brilliant. Just having another scroll through. Is there any you can see there, Jeff, that you would like to touch on?
No, I think it's all good.
All right, 6 o'clock on the dot. How about that? All right, well.
Great. And any signs that Craig's coming back on?
Not that I can see, no. I've had a look at our Telegram chat with Craig. I believe he's sorting something out. However, he won't be. He just sent a photo to our chat. He's at the shops buying a laptop charger right now. I'm not even kidding.
All right, thanks, Craig. You can hear this. Thank you so much for hopping on today this masterclass, and thanks, James, for hosting.
No worries. Thank you very much for attending. Thanks again for everyone joining us. We'll make that an end. We'll wrap it up there. Until next time, safe trading. Join our Telegram. Let's build a really big community. We can all help each other, look after each other, make sure we all make some money, or stack some sats rather. Thank you very much. Thank you very much tonight.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.